I'd played the last game in the Nightmares from the Deep series and enjoyed it thoroughly, so my expectations were high going into this one. I'll start off the review by saying that yes, they were met, and this is another high-quality game published by Artifacts Mundi, but in addition to general production excellence, the game had something of a huge surprise in store for me. When I first booted up the game, the last thing I expected to find was another addition to my list of hidden object games adapted from H.P. Lovecraft stories, but that's exactly what I got. Surprisingly, The Siren's Call is a fairly faithful adaptation of The Shadow over Innsmouth, just less bleak, and without a troubling anti-miscegenation message. The developers have taken the thrilling plot, creepy backstory, and great monster design of the original tale and reworked it so completely that it becomes almost entirely their own, making this quite an accomplishment even before the gameplay elements are taken into account. Barely at all. As is frequently the case, the game is set in a town that's gone through a destructive event. Here it's riots and social protest against a tyrannical mayor. As a result, the streets are a mess and hidden objects are understandably difficult to find amongst all the clutter. The screens themselves are beautifully drawn, with the items almost universally fitting the locations in which they're found. The developers have even been mindful to avoid the various types of cheating so many games use to ramp up the difficulty level. Here only a few items have been shifted to an unrealistic size, and every time they want to hide an item by changing its color from the expected, they're always careful to establish a light source explaining the difference in hue. The game is split pretty evenly between 12-1 and fully integrated scenes, with the fully integrated scenes consisting both of mini puzzles and construction screens. The game offers a healthy variety of hidden object games, with the only real drawback being how heavily the game relies on the map's ability to let players know when the next scene is available. This can be a little daunting from a design standpoint at the best of times. Give players a map that allows them to fast travel and they're going to use it. But it's generally better to let them find a hidden object scene organically through travel rather than just looking for a new exclamation point on a map. The Siren's Call has a habit of putting new hidden object scenes a good 8 to 10 screens back from wherever a puzzle is being solved, which more often than not leads to a player being stumped because they can't crack a particular door, then checking out the map and discovering that way back in the starting village there are 2 new hidden object scenes to solve. This is doubly problematic on expert difficulty when there's no reason to suspect that the only way to progress further in the game is to go back through each individual screen and click on all of the hidden object locations, hoping that one of them has been refreshed. With its setting rife with magical pirates and ancient curses, the Siren's Call earns a pass on contrived locks and elaborate puzzles. These are evil fish people who've been trapped in time for hundreds of years. Of course they're going to get playful when it comes to stealing chests. The game especially impresses with the variety of locations it offers. Starting in a Caribbean island village, the game moves through a few locations seemingly set in different time periods using a clever and entirely believable conceit which I won't spoil here. The puzzles are all especially well grounded and fit the world. Whether I was decoding a parchment, cracking a safe, or just repairing a set of clocks, all of the activities logically grew out of the story that contained them. I'm always complaining about the main characters in hidden object games getting rid of perfectly good tools after a single use. This game exists to answer that complaint. This knife is the 5th or 6th item the player picks up at the start of the game, and they'll find a dozen uses for it over the game's nearly 3-hour running time, with it only leaving their inventory after being used for the second last action in the entire game. It comes with the PS4 release, but if you're buying it on PC, be sure to grab the Collector's Edition, as the bonus game has a considerable amount of extra content and new puzzles set in fresh locations. I was a big fan of the first Nightmares from the Deep, and the Siren's Call improves on it in every way. A compelling story, wonderful setting, and beautiful art make this one of the most high-quality hidden object games I've reviewed. This is truly a great effort from Artifacts Mundi, as well as a hidden object game that any fan of the genre owes it to themselves to play. I'm excitedly looking forward to Nightmares from the Deep 3. Yes, I know I can play it right now, it's been out on PC for a while, but since I played the first 2 games on consoles, I think I'm going to keep that going for this franchise. This review is based on a copy of the game provided by the publisher. If you'd like to watch the playthrough that led to this review, just click on the rectangle that allows you to do that. You can find other hidden object game reviews elsewhere on this playlist. Au revoir.